Hello, it's Mac here, and today I'm going to talk about the possibility of a 6th property in GTA Online, and sort of asking the question, do we even need another available property in GTA Online? And pretty much ever since Cunning Stunts, and even before then, but it's really ramped up ever since Cunning Stunts, people have been asking for a 6th property. They say that we need a 6th property in GTA Online because they just don't have enough storage for their vehicles. And we've seen that in the past with other DLCs. You know, ever since the game came out, you could only have one garage. So you could only have 10 vehicles in GTA Online. Then, in the High Life update, that's whenever they added in another property in GTA Online where you could have 2. And that was the first time. And pretty much ever since then, they've been adding in new properties, and now we're at a total of 5. And so just a bit of a rundown on these DLCs that added in the ability to buy an extra property in GTA Online. Whenever GTA Online came out, you could only have 1. In the High Life update, like I said, you could have 2. That update also added in new properties, and that would make sense why you'd want to buy another property is because there was new properties. So you didn't want to get rid of your old property just to get one of the new ones. And so, you know, had new apartments, new interiors, and stuff like that. Then we had to wait a pretty long time to get the ability to get 3rd garage, which was in the Festive Surprise update, which was weird because not only is that the first update for GTA Online on the Xbox One and PS4, however, it just doesn't really make much sense. Like, I don't know why exactly that update, and they didn't just wait for the Heist update, because that wasn't long after, but for some reason they just let you get a 3rd garage in there, even though that update only added in a few vehicles. Nothing really that spectacular. Then we actually had to wait almost an entire year just to get another available property in GTA Online. So we were at 3 garages for quite a bit of time, and we actually had a few DLCs in between that. You know, of course, we had the Heist update, which added a lot of vehicles, and the Ill-Gotten Gains updates, both of those, which added in, you know, much like the Heist update, lots of vehicles. So we had to wait quite a bit, but then we got the ability to get a 4th garage in GTA Online with the Lowriders update, and that kind of made sense. You know, that DLC did add vehicles, it was centered around vehicles, so it kind of did make sense. Then we only had to wait about 2 months for the 5th garage, which was in the Executives and Other Criminals DLC. And that one also kind of made sense because that one also added in new properties, so now we're at 5. And for the entirety of 2016, we have not been able to get another garage in GTA Online. And I may be in the minority on this, but I don't feel like we need another garage in GTA Online. If we got one, I may buy it, just to have it, but I don't feel like I'd even fill it up anytime soon. And maybe I'm in the minority on that one, but really, I don't feel we need another garage in GTA Online. And there are a few reasons for that, and I want to talk about that in this video. And so, you guys will probably disagree with me on this, but we don't. I feel like we don't, because I have 5 properties in GTA Online. I have a few apartments, I have 1 garage, and 1 house. The Stilt Home, which I don't use at all, because really, the Stilt Homes aren't even that great in GTA Online. I just bought them because of the hype of Executives and Criminals, but once you actually buy them, it's like, it's not really that great, honestly. But I probably have 40 or so vehicles on my main character. Some of those I just stored just to sell later. And, you know, so they're like felons and, you know, ballers and stuff like that. And really, I don't even have a full garage. And I only have a few cars that I actually ever use and I am proud of. You know, some of those cars that I even have in like my 5th garage or my 4th garage, I'm not really proud of them. You know, I just put them in there, didn't really customize them, don't really care about them, and I don't know if I'm the only one who does that. Whenever a new update comes out, I may buy a few cars in that update, but will I ever really use them? No, and then I'll probably sell them later. And that's usually what happens with a DLC. I don't care much about money in GTA Online until a new update comes out, and then I'm like, oh wait, I need some money, and I'm not going to go buy a shark card, I don't think, so I'll just go make some money in GTA Online. And the way I usually do that, at least, you know, one contributing factor, is just selling vehicles. Right before Finance and Felony came out, I sold my Verlier, I sold a few other vehicles, and I even sold, I think, my Roosevelt Valor and a few other vehicles. And that's just because I don't drive them, I don't care about them. You know, the Verlier, I liked it, but I just didn't really have a point to it. There's much better sports cars in my opinion. And while I like the look of it, I could get better money for it, and I'd rather have that money on something else. And even whenever a new DLC comes out, I don't buy that many vehicles because I know I'm probably not going to use much of them. Whenever Finance and Felony came out, I bought the Reaper, I bought the FMJ, and I bought the Bestia GTS. And those were all just for videos. I sold the Reaper the day of the DLC. I also sold my T20 the day of the DLC. Because I figured that, well, if I have the Anis RE7B, I don't really have a point to the T20 anymore. I don't really, like, the looks fine, but it's not my favorite looking supercar. So I'm not going to keep it for the looks, because I like other supercars for their looks. Even if they don't have the greatest performance, I like the looks of them. Whereas the T20, like, it doesn't have bad looks, but the reason why I kept it was the performance. But whenever it gets replaced by, you know, the RE7B, it's like, I don't have a point to this car anymore, and I don't want to get too many cars in GT Online. That's one of my things I liked about having a second character, is that I only had 2 garages, and one of them I didn't really even fill up. You know, I had a few cars in there that I just stored for no particular reason, because I never actually used them. I only really had 1 garage, and even then it wasn't filled with, you know, super high-end cars. The most expensive car in there I got for half price, and that was a Zentorno. I liked having only 1 garage, and I feel like I'm at a point where I don't even want more garages, because the problem is, in my opinion, this may sound super petty, but I don't like it, is that since I have so many garages in GT Online right now, I have 5 on my main character, going through like my interaction menu and on the minimap and all that, I don't like seeing all my garages whenever I don't really use them that much. I don't like having to go through 5 different options in my interaction menu, or my quick GPS, just to get to other options. And I don't feel like we need another garage in GT Online. And if we did need more garage space, which I don't feel like we do, because if you need more garage space in GT Online, go create a second character. And a lot of the GTA YouTubers that I see, you know, say that we need a 6th garage, a lot of them have the game on multiple accounts and on multiple platforms. You know, a lot of these YouTubers have the game on all 3 platforms, and, you know, they probably have it on last gen, but they probably don't play on last gen. But even then, they have the game on Xbox One, they have the game on PS4, they have the game on PC. So, if they had 2 characters on all of them, if they have enough money, and that's the only reason why I don't buy more cars in GT Online, if they have enough money, why don't they just create second characters on all those accounts, and just get like 300 cars in GT Online? That's how much you could have. And I know not everybody has all platforms, but, you know, if you do, go play on another character. Go play on other accounts. Go play on other platforms, because that's how you're going to get more cars in GT Online. And I don't really understand why we need more space in GT Online, whenever you can always just create a second character. Even on the Newswire post, for an event that wasn't that long ago. I don't know exactly how long ago this was, but it wasn't that long ago. It's just probably a few weeks ago. Rockstar actually said, if you need more garage space in GT Online, because they were doing like an event for like discounts on garages, if you need more garage in GT Online, just go create a second character. You can get 100 cars in GT Online if money's not an issue. Now, if money is an issue, I don't know why you even want another garage in GT Online, because you're never going to even fill that up, right? So if money's not an issue for you in GT Online, go create a second character to reset. But RP doesn't really matter with vehicles. It matters with weapons and clothing and other things like that. Not really with vehicles, aside from Pegasus vehicles, but Pegasus vehicles you could just buy all on your main character. And there's only 1 car in the game that is level required that you can store in your rush, and that's the Dubsta 6x6, which if you're already above level 100 on your main character, just buy it on your main character and buy that vehicle that you have to replace on your second character. And the other complaint I'll see about, you know, having a second character is, well, I don't want to have to switch to another character just to drive that vehicle, because that takes time. But do you even use some of those vehicles? Because a lot of people that want another garage, they just want to store vehicles. They don't use the vehicles. If you want to, you know, go just collect the vehicle, not really use it in any races, and you only really want it for, say, car shows or just to drive around, then why does switching to another character really bother you that much? And the other reason I see is because people want rare cars in GT Online, but my response to that is, rare cars. Are we even playing the same game anymore? Because there aren't really that many rare cars in GT Online. Because, really, there's only a few. At least now, you know, 3 years after the game, there aren't that many rare cars in GT Online. You have, I guess you could say, the mariachi car, but even then, that's, you know, a guaranteed spawn in 1 location. I guess you could say the Phoenix, because you can't buy it, and it spawns in a number of sessions for me. And then I guess maybe the Blazer Lifeguard, I don't think you could buy that one. But even then, there aren't that many rare cars in GTA Online anymore that you can't just buy. Sure, back in the day, and now it just seems like almost every car in GTA Online you can buy off the internet. And honestly, if they were to add in a new garage, I wouldn't want to have just a new property slot. You know, I don't want to just have 6 garages. What I'd rather have is replace one of my other garages or one of my other properties with a bigger garage. You know, something with 15, 20 cars. Then I would see the point to actually, you know, get rid of another garage just to get another one. But I don't really want a 6 garage or a 6 property, because that's just, maybe it feels a little lazy in my opinion if Rockstar were to do that. And also, I wouldn't buy one myself. I don't feel like we need one. And that's just the point of this video, is how much is too much? When will it stop? When will people say, oh, well, we need a 7th garage? When will people say we need a 10th garage, a 20th garage? It will just keep on going. And what I'd rather have is a 15, 20, you know, they can go however high they want. I don't care. I'd rather have a garage that can hold that many cars than just having more properties. Because if it gets to a point where we have overlapping properties, then people that don't want that, they're going to have to deal with it just to get another property. They're going to have to buy another garage in the same area. And I feel like we're at that point yet. And we may not ever get to that point. And a lot of people do say that we need another garage in GTA Online, whereas I disagree. I feel if you want more cars in GTA Online, just go create a second character. I'm pretty sure 100 cars in GTA Online, because if you can buy, you know, 5 properties on your second character, I'm pretty sure 100 cars in GTA Online should suffice. Anyways, some more thoughts on this in the comments. Do you disagree with me? And do you think that we need another garage in GTA Online? Or do you agree with me and think that maybe we don't need another garage in GTA Online? Or would you rather have, instead of a new, you know, actual like property slot and just going, oh, well, you can buy another one, would you actually have them add in a new garage with like 20 or so slots where you can store vehicles in there, but you'd have to replace an existing garage, but your cars would probably just transfer over from that one garage that you replaced to the new garage? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Feedback is always I'll see you guys in the next video.